The Minister of Steel Development, Mr. Ibadan, has visited the Delta Steel Company, now Premium Steel and Mines Limited in Delta State, to assess the facility for commencement of operation of the plant, as well as explore avenues for further development in the country's steel sector. Prince Audu, accompanied by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Chris Isoponwu, and other directors in the ministry, noted that the revitalization of the Premium Steel and Mines Limited, one of Nigeria's most iconic industrial assets, stands as a national imperative in the pursuit of economic diversification, job creation, and self-reliance. The minister revealed that the inspection tour is in furtherance of President Bola Tinubu's resolve to ensure that all legacy steel assets are resuscitated for optimal contribution to the national economy. The managing director of CEO of Premium Steel Mines Limited, Sahil Vaswani, stated that the company introduced cutting-edge technology to rehabilitate the rolling mill in 2018 in its strong commitment to see that the plant is revived. He, however, noted that the shutdown of the mill in 2021 as a result of multiple challenges such as COVID-19 and other factors severely disrupted access to essential raw materials. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, has commended the Governor of Kaduna State, Alhaji Ubasani, for the proactive re-establishment of the Kaduna State Ministry of Information. In a statement, the Director of Press and Protocol, Dr. Haruna Suleiman, says the Minister described the landmark decision coming a decade after its dissolution aligns with the clarion call at the December 2024 National Council on Information meeting, where states were urged to prioritize the revitalization or creation of information ministries to strengthen governance, public engagement, and national unity. The minister recognizes the Kaduna State government's action as a critical step towards advancing the collective goal of fostering transparent governance and citizen-centric communication across Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated prominent businessman Oba Clement Adesuyi Hanstrop Ajimoko of the Third on his coronation as the new Owa Obokun Adimola and paramount ruler of Ijesha land in Ilesha, Osun State. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, notes that Oba Hastrop was a former politician and deputy governor of the state and later went into business. The President urges Oba Hastrop to continue upholding the values of the tradition and promoting unity and harmony in Ijesha land, Osun State, and Nigeria at large.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
In 1975, a bold vision was born. 15 nations, one dream. Peace, progress, and prosperity. From the bustling streets of Accra to the vibrant markets of Lome. From the shores of Praia in Cape Verde to the heart of Abuja. ECOWAS has stood for unity, integration, and the power of West Africa. Now, in 2025, we celebrate 50 years of building bridges, breaking barriers, and shaping a future together. This is more than a milestone. It's a movement. Join the celebration as we deepen regional integration for peace and prosperity. ECOWAS at 50. Stronger together for a brighter future.
Nigerian children prepare to celebrate another anniversary on Radio Link, a Radio Nigeria audience participatory program. This Saturday, we will discuss celebrating the Nigerian child. Our guest shall be Mrs. Mette Edekobi, a retired director, Special Duties, National Rotation Agency, now the team lead, Child Shield Initiative, the secretary, National Coalition of Civil Societies to End Child Marriage, FCT chapter, Mrs. Oluchi Achi Uzodimma, a girl child ambassador for Child Shield Initiative, Ochanya Godspeed Abraham, as well as Mr. Gbenga Adeleke, an advocate for children rights and community development. You can be part of this program by dialing 0915 0910 0482 and 0915 091 0483. You could also send us email on frcncurrentaffairs@yahoo.com. Radio Link takes the air every Saturday on the network service of Radio Nigeria from 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning. Please join us.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
As reported earlier, the Plateau State government has cleared 159 companies to resume mining operations in the state. Governor Caleb Mutfwang disclosed this while addressing news managers. Correspondent Josiah Buzon reports.
On February 21st of this year, the Plateau State government signed the Executive Order 001, temporarily suspending all mining activities across the 17 local government areas of the state. Following the suspension, the state government inaugurated a technical committee made up of experts drawn from diverse backgrounds with the mandate to engage stakeholders in the mining sector and develop a framework that ensures compliance with the Nigerian Mineral and Mining Act 2007 and its regulations of 2011. Governor Caleb Mutfwang said the companies were cleared after thorough screening and verification.
These companies are broken into the following categories: 6 mining licenses, 15 small-scale mining leases, 15 exploration licenses, 5 artisanal and small-scale mining permits, 1 quarry lease, 118 tin shed stock buying center.
He warned companies that have not been cleared to stay away from mining sites, noting that the suspension is fully in effect for all non-compliant operators. The governor said very soon his administration will initiate a process of formalizing artisan miners into cooperatives. This, he said, will secure the supply chain to the already clear tin sheds and buying centers, as well as ensure better oversight and compliance.
Any buying center found purchasing minerals from unauthorized sources, particularly from underage miners, will face immediate arrest and prosecution. We call on all parents and guardians to take full responsibility for their children.
Mutfwang said the emergence of large-scale mining in the state served as a catalyst for economic growth, industrial development, job creation, foreign exchange earning, and infrastructural expansion. He described as heartbreaking to observe the number of young people that have abandoned their education to engage in artisan mining, a trend he said has exposed them to exploitation, drug abuse, prostitution, and life-threatening health risk.
We resolve to stop this disturbing trajectory by introducing a fair and sustainable system, a win-win model that ensures mining activities benefit all: the federal government, the Plateau State government, and most importantly, our host communities.
He announced that Plateau State is a leading hub for minerals from all over the country, stressing that his administration will support the industry with initiatives that will be announced on a later date. From Jos, Josiah Buzun, Radio Nigeria.
The Bola Tinubu administration is marking 2 years in office, with Nigerians expressing divergent opinions on its performance so far. As part of Radio Nigeria's commemorative report on various aspects of national life, we now bring you a special focus on the security situation in the last 2 years, put together by correspondent Daniel Kalmax in Kaduna.
It's been 2 years since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed office, and within the period, Nigerian security architecture has undergone notable transformation. Since taking office, President Tinubu has prioritized security by implementing strategic reforms, including the appointment of new service chiefs to strengthen intelligence coordination. Within the period, over 9,000 terrorists and bandits have been neutralized, and more than 7,000 criminals apprehended nationwide. The Nigerian Air Force has expanded its fleet with 5 new aircrafts to intensify the war against terror. Also notable is the establishment of the Mines Marshal Corps, created to safeguard mining operations and cap illegal mining. The annual recruitment into the Nigerian police force has increased to 30,000 personnel, aiming to boost the nation's security presence and quicken response time. In February, he directed the armed forces and intelligence agencies to harmonize their operations and adopt a society approach. This directive, according to Major General David Saraso, General Officer Commanding Division 1 of the Nigerian Army in Kaduna, is already showing positive results.
It's true that we have a relatively peaceful environment within Kaduna State and environs compared to this same time last year.
Part of targeted initiatives, a 50 billion Pulako initiative was launched, covering 7 high-risk states, including Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Niger, Kaduna, Benue, and Kebbi. The program aims to to address the root causes of banditry and cattle rustling by promoting community reconciliation, rebuilding infrastructure, and supporting displaced farmers and herders. Reverend Dr. John Joseph Hayab, Country Director of the Global Peace Foundation Nigeria, commended the government's effort, urging for continuity to achieve lasting peace.
Since we are recording success, let's consolidate this success by ensuring that people can go to their farm, people can go to the market. Let there be a new lease of life.
Despite recorded progress, experts like Brigadier General Sani Suleiman retired and security analyst Mark Jacobs argued that robust intelligence gathering remained critical to dismantling criminal networks.
Not just the military, the other component need to complement the effort. Intelligence is very key.
Nigerians are waiting for better stories than what we have seen. They keep saying that they even know some of the attackers. So why does the Nigerian agencies of security difficult for them to apprehend or stop these attacks?
For the first time in years, no major civilian incidents have been recorded along the route for 6 consecutive months. General Christopher Musa, Chief of Defense Staff, reaffirmed the military's commitment to community partnership in tackling insecurity.
The security forces are doing the best they can, but they cannot be everywhere. So we need every Nigerian has a role to play in respect of security. When you see something that is wrong, that is not going, report quickly so that action can be taken.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force Training Command in Kaduna continues to provide aerial support for ground troops. Close collaboration with local communities has significantly enhanced intelligence sharing and operational outcomes. The Southern Kaduna Professors Forum, led by Professor John La and the National Young Christian Professionals through Mr. Isaac Abrak, highlighted the formation of the National Forest Guard as a strategic move to protect Nigeria's forests and deny criminals safe haven.
In an effort to tackle insecurity in Kaduna State, 3 new military commands were established, with one located at Samaru.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is committed to take on this problem that these people are hiding in our forests and are disturbing us.
While many Kaduna residents acknowledge improvements, some express mixed feelings.
Farmers are just going back to the farm.
The administration have really come up with a strategy and show a genuine commitment and political will to overcome the security situation.
Until when I see people doing their normal thing, just like 20 years back, people can still move around 1 a.m.
As the Tinubu-led administration marks 2 years in office, the road to enduring peace remains long. In Kaduna, Daniel Karl Marx, Radio Nigeria.
The federal government is investing in the technological advancement of the Nigerian Air Force to enhance national security and reposition it for strategic role in the African continent. The Minister of Defense, Dr. Mohammed Abubakar, stated this at the 4th African Air Forces Forum held in Lagos in commemoration of the 61st anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force. John Obot has details.
The Africa Air Force Forum, the 4th in the series this year 2025, brought Chief of Air Staff of more than 30 countries of the world to Lagos to felicitate with the Nigerian Air Force in her 61st anniversary celebrations. The Minister of Defense, Dr. Mohammed Abubakar, in his address at the event, noted that Nigeria remains fully aware of the transformative potential of aerospace power in safeguarding national interests, hence the need to forge regional stability, prioritizing capabilities in intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance for air mobility. Dr. Abubakar noted that the theme of the event, which is strengthening collaboration in aerospace technology for advanced national and regional security, was apt, as it was not only about technological advancement, but also about human dimension of collaboration, trust, mutual respect, and shared ambition of secured, united, and prosperous Africa.
As we navigate those challenges, we must also recognize that we live in an era where rapid evolution of technology is transforming the nature of defense and security.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, stressed the fact that the unique of air operations have added extra pressure on air forces across the continent, hence a call for the support of other branches of the military and to help enhance the overall security of the civilian populace. According to the governor, no country can tackle insecurity alone, hence the need for a well-equipped, well-trained, and highly motivated air force. The governor was represented by his deputy, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat.
It must not just be a meeting of military leaders. It must be a chance to forge lasting partnerships and nurture a spirit of cooperation. It must be an opportunity to strengthen the ties of friendship and solidarity that connect us as experts in regional and global security.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, had noted that as threats become increasingly transnational in nature, the urgency for the enhanced cooperation, innovation, and strategic foresight among the African Air Forces cannot be overemphasized.
Through the strong bonds forged here, we can open avenues for better transfer of technology that will bring us significantly closer to self-sufficiency in the crucial hardware and material needed to meet the air power demands of national security.
Goodwill messages from the Chief of Air Staff of all the 30 nations participating, while manufacturers of air power hardwares took time to showcase their equipment needed to boost air powers of the Nigeria Air Force. At the exhibition hall were arrays of air power equipment comprising helicopters, aircrafts, and drones of various sizes and dimensions. In Lagos, John Abud, Radio Nigeria.
Now to NDLEA, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, that is NDLEA, and the Drug Enforcement Administration of the United States, DEA, have expressed readiness to strengthen their current collaboration in the fight against the menace of substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking. This was the high point of discussions during a meeting between the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa, and the country attaché of US DEA, Ms. Daphne Morrison, at the agency's national headquarters in Abuja. While thanking Brigadier General Marwa for the partnership between NDLEA and DEA, Ms. Morrison, who was newly posted to Nigeria, said efforts are ongoing to organize more training for officers and men of the Special Operations Unit of the agency, while looking forward to a number of joint operations with NDLEA in already identified areas of interest. Responding, the NDLEA Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, retired Brigadier General Marwa, acknowledged the excellent relationship and the support received from DEA over the years, especially in areas of equipment, training, and joint operations, expressing hope that more of such support will continue. He highlighted the recent revolution of NDLEA in the size of its workforce, expansion of operational and administrative structures, as well as remarkable successes recorded in its drug supply reduction and drug demand reduction efforts. Now to judiciary story. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, says President Tinubu's administration will continue to safeguard the nation's resources and uphold the principles of justice against any threats that tend to impose any form of financial burden on the people. He stated this in Abuja at a meeting with the Process and Industrial Development P&ID litigation team for Nigeria, led by the coordinator, Mr. Kofo Abdusalam Alada. Judiciary correspondent Stalin Wosu now tells us more.
The federal government's victory against P&ID led to the award of $11 billion, a feat many have described as one of the greatest litigations that ended in a landmark decisions in favor of Nigeria. In its verdict, the Business and Property Court in London ruled that the award was obtained through fraud, which was contrary to public policy and effectively negating Nigeria's obligation to pay the debt. The court therefore ordered P&ID to pay Nigeria £20 million in damages and compensation. Going through memory lane, Prince Fagbemi recalled that P&ID case presented a complex and unprecedented challenge, which, according to him, demanded meticulous preparation, astute legal argumentations, and unwavering commitment before truth was uncovered.
Your ability to navigate the complexities of international arbitration, expose the fraudulent underpinning of the initial award, and ultimately securing a favorable judgment is a testament to your outstanding expertise and unwavering resolve. This victory is not merely a legal triumph, it is a powerful message to the world that Nigeria will not be exploited and that justice will always prevail.
Lead partner Mitchcon Derea, UK, and head of litigation team, Nigeria and others, Shakespeare actor, described Nigeria's victory as unprecedented at the English court.
This is a great result for the people of Nigeria, a great testament to the resolve of this government in staying the course. This is a long-running dispute that dates back to 2010.
The leader of the delegation and retiring director, Legal Services at the Central Bank, Mr. Kofo Abdusalam Alada, praised the Attorney General for showing the world that Nigeria is not for sale.
Other people who attempt to drag Nigeria through this route, that they will be made to pay.
Mr. Alada also thanked President Tinubu for providing all the human and material resources used in winning the case. In Abuja, Stanley Nwosu, Radio Nigeria.
Women in the media have been urged to rise above their challenges and contribute more to the development of the profession and the progress of the nation. This was the consensus at a one-day inaugural conference of the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, Zone D, led by Mrs. Chizoba Ogbeche, which attracted notable women reporters, politicians, and professionals, including the Minister of Women Affairs and the Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Political editor Victor Agbensen now reports.
The Nigeria Association of Women Journalists Zone D inaugural conference was a blend of intellectual concourse and merrymaking, including dancing and singing. After the tone for the discussions was set by the Minister of Women Affairs, Haja Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, the conference interrogated issues surrounding the complexities and challenges in the male-dominated field of journalism in Nigeria. The host and Vice President, NAWOJ Zone D, Mrs. Chizoba Ogbeche, used the occasion to encourage women journalists to do more in shaping the nation.
Journalism is the only profession that comes with that constitutional responsibility. So anybody that wants to join is welcome, and together we can make it get better.
The national coordinator of the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, Mr. Emmanuel Onwubiko, who acknowledged the unique role of women in the media, however decried the lack of institutional support for women journalists, including the absence of life insurance, especially for those covering conflict.
They shouldn't get discouraged, particularly in Nigeria where journalism is not a well-paid job.
Agenda activist Mrs. Adora Oyenchere Sidney Jack, however, expressed disappointment that women's voice were still being silenced in Nigeria due to the patriarchal system. The event featured the presentation of awards to outstanding women journalists, special posthumous recognition to a former vice president of the zone, late Salamatu Babatunde, former NAWOJ national ex-officio for the zone, late Mrs. Blessing Adewale, and the investiture of the Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory, Hajia Maria Mahmood, as matron NAWOJ Zone D. The Director of News, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Husseina Banshika, was among those honored for their contributions to the growth of NAWOJ.
It feels good. I was state chairman NAWOJ in Adamawa and later became national secretary. That was 1999 to 2002. We actually operated under difficult conditions. You practically run the secretariat with your money. To be recognized today is like saying you did well.
Other awardees included S.A. Kama of News Agency of Nigeria and Gloria Thomas of Voice of Nigeria. Nene Dung, who is the NAWOJ chairperson, Plateau State, and Hadiza Umar Lamido, her Nasarawa State counterpart, told Radio Nigeria that the conference could not have come at a better time. In Abuja, Victor Agbensen, Radio Nigeria.
The Federal Capital Territory FCT Universal Basic Education Board has inaugurated an initiative tagged Girls Yield in Science and Technology, aimed at encouraging more girls to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics (STEM). At the event in Abuja, the Deputy Director in charge of placement and gender at the board, Dr. Sefia Tamanao, explained statistics showed a significant gender disparity in STEM fields, with boys outnumbering girls, noting that the project will create an enabling environment for girls to thrive in science and technology. Dr. Tamanao promised that the board will continue to support initiatives that promote inclusive education, especially in STEM subjects.
This, which means girls yielding in science and technology, is something that is very apt, coming at the right direction, because we need more of these girls in science and technology.
An educationist, Mr. Jeremiah Hussaini, said the program, which was one in its second phase, was not just a project but a movement to empower girls and help them realize their dreams.
aim to equip the girl child with necessary support and mentorship they need to be properly represented in the science and engineering space in Nigeria. Statistics has it already that women only occupy just 30% in the science and engineering. Brilliant girls in schools without the push, the motivation, the mentorship, and the courage to take up science subjects.
Mr. Hosseini added that the program provided female students with mentorship opportunities and hands-on learning that ignited their passion for STEM. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has expressed dissatisfaction over the partial implementation of its 2009 agreement with the federal government. At a news briefing in Abuja, the new president of the union, Professor Chris Piwuna, said many aspects of the agreement, such as the conclusion of the renegotiation of the 2009 federal government ASU agreement based on NIMI BRICS Committee's draft agreement of 2021, were yet to be implemented. He highlighted the other issues to include the release of withheld 3.5 month salaries as a result of the 2022 industrial action and release of unpaid salaries of staff on sabbatical, part-time and adjunct appointment due to the application of the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System, that is IPPIS. Professor Piwuna said the union had delayed embarking on industrial action since last year to exhaust all means of negotiation with the federal government.
On this issue, we had declared our intention to embark on a strike last year, but we have delayed for almost a year, and these problems are still outstanding. And when we finally take an action, because we're tired of it, all that unfortunately Nigerians see is that ASU is again on strike. We will continue to engage with government. We have never stopped going for any meeting, all by government on these issues.
The union also condemned undue interference by the political class in university administration and appointments. The president of ASU added that for the nation to break free from the cycle of underdevelopment, education must be placed at the center of national rebirth. The Nigeria Veterinary Medical Association, in collaboration with Farmalad, a non-governmental organization, has given a grant of 1 million naira each to 9 veterinary doctors to enable them set up veterinary-related businesses. At the ceremony in Abuja that attracted veterinarians from both public and private sectors, the law agreed that public-private partnerships should be encouraged and sustained in the country. Shekara Anthony has details.
With the growing number of unemployment and the increasing number of graduates churned out into the society, it has therefore become imperative to explore other means of engaging these young minds to be self-reliant. The President of Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Dr. Moses Arikoyo, said the event, which was the third in a series, was meant to empower the veterinarians to help them venture into entrepreneurship in animal-related fields. Dr. Arikoyo pointed out that about 80% of veterinary doctors are in the private sector practice, and this, according to him, had contributed in solving the problem of unemployment and poverty, adding that the disease burden in the sub-Saharan Africa had grown to $90 billion, and this could only be tackled if more veterinarians were empowered to handle the challenges.
The expectation here is that they will go out there and set up businesses related to the veterinary space, and then as they expand, they help to solve part of the hunger issues. Our president have declared a set of emergencies.
The Chief Veterinary Officer of Nigeria, Dr. Inua Musa, emphasized that government alone cannot shoulder the responsibility of employing all Nigerians, but should create the enabling environment for the private sector to thrive and empower more people, hence the need for the grant awards to the veterinarians.
Currently, we don't have disease-free zones or disease-free compartments. It's impossible for us to export our animals and products outside Nigeria. They say we do it informally, but formally you have to ensure that you have disease-free zones and compartments where the animals are raised. You have very well-standard abattoirs where they are slaughtered and processed before they can export it.
A member of Board of Trustees, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Professor Usman Junedu, said this type of initiative should be encouraged in all fields of human endeavor to create jobs and reduce the burden of employment on the government. One of the beneficiaries, Dr. Waliu Olasunkomi, pledged to utilize the grant for the benefit of the people.
One of the challenges we are facing currently in my community is inappropriate diagnosis. We travel as far as Ageki or Ikeja to perform some diagnosis, in which I want to bring that to my environment.
High point of the occasion was the distribution of 1 million naira checks to each of the 9 beneficiaries. In Abuja, Shekara Anthony, Radio Nigeria.
It's 7:30. You're listening to the news on the network service of Radio Nigeria. In the headlines, Plateau State government has lifted mining suspension on 159 companies. Our correspondent has highlighted security achievements of President Bola Tinubu. Still to come, electricity consumers in Benue State decry outrageous estimated billing. And U.S. President threatens increased tariffs on European Union products. Plus, entertainment, sports news, commentaries have a scope, newspaper headlines, and weather report. Stay with us.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
On May 28, 1975, a bold vision was born. The dream of a united, integrated, and prosperous West Africa became a reality as leaders of 15 West African countries gathered in Lagos, Nigeria, to lay the foundation of a regional organization with the capacity to address the economic, social, political, and security challenges facing the region. On that historic day, ECOWAS was born. Over the past 5 decades, ECOWAS has remained resilient, steadfast, and committed to the deals set forward by its founding fathers, promoting democracy, peace, security, and good governance. As we reflect on our journey over the past 50 years, we look to the future with hope and determination. Together, let us continue to build the ECOWAS of our dreams. ECOWAS, stronger together for a brighter future.
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation.
Thank you for remaining with us. And many electricity consumers in Benue State are still groaning on the burden of estimated billing system 13 years after privatization of the power sector. Correspondent Tena Injua has been keeping tabs on the situation and now tells us more.
Due to the inefficiencies in the electricity sector, the federal government in 2013 opted to privatize the sector with the sale of 11 electricity distribution companies and 6 generation companies to private investors. The idea behind the privatization policy was to ensure energy sufficiency and sustainability, as well as eliminate unfair practices in the power sector, which includes making sure that every customer is metered to eliminate the estimated billing system. However, 13 years after the privatization, more than 7 million electricity consumers across the country, including Benue, are yet to be metered despite regulatory directives and the meter asset provider MAP scheme introduced to address the metering shortfall. Investigation shows that apart from Makurdi, the state capital, where less than 40% of electricity consumers are metered, others are paying estimated bills, which in most cases is more than the power consumed. Mrs. Kumawesi Dondo, whose fashion shop at Logo 1 area of Makurdi has no prepared meter, lamented that she gets outrageous estimated electricity bills every month, despite inadequate supply of power in the area.
Imagine current bill 42,897 naira 17 kobo. Where are we going to generate that money from?
Godwin Omale, who lives in a 2-bedroom apartment in Otukpo, and Janet Avaka from Boko appealed to the management of Just Electricity Distribution Company JETCO to provide every consumer with prepared meters to enable them pay only for energy consumed.
No consumer is saying they will not pay bills, but what we're asking for, justify the bill you are giving us.
I want prepaid. Like if I'm using prepaid, I know that if I'm going out, I will off my lights.
A public affairs commentator, Harris Yode, enjoined the National Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, to compare the distribution companies to meter all electricity consumers or adhere strictly to the estimated bill capping policy.
These distributors of electricity, they're not doing the right thing at all. That is the reason they don't even want to give people meters.
When contacted, Regional Manager, Just Electricity Distribution Company in Makurdi, Mr. Ojochide Agbata, declined comment, saying the new structure in the company does not give him the mandate to speak on the matter. From Makurdi, Tena Injua, Radio Nigeria.
Now, after some days of spiritual experience in the holy city of Medina, Nigerian pilgrims and some stakeholders have expressed satisfaction with improved services coordinated by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON. They were particular in the areas of food, accommodation, and logistics as they prepared to move to Mecca for the main Hajj rites. Hadiza Abdurrahman now tells us more.
As they proceed to Mecca for the next phase of the pilgrimage, Nigerian pilgrims have commended the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, for a well-organized process that provided them with unique moments for a spiritual uplifting experience in Medina. Many noted improvements in the provision of comfortable accommodation, quality of meals served, and coordination of service providers. They said the positive feedback underscored the growing confidence in NACON's robust planning. A pilgrim, Imam Ibrahim Afini from Lagos, praised both NACON and the Saudi authorities for ensuring pilgrims were well cared for during their stay.
There are a lot of improvements when it is coming to the accommodation. I will give NACON nothing less than 95%. They are feeding us twice in a day.
Another pilgrim, Mrs. Sherifat Sani from Lagos State, highlighted the added spiritual benefit of the ulama-led sensitization sessions in Medina, describing them as enlightening and valuable.
I can understand what is Umrah. I can understand what is Hajj. There are differences between Umrah and Hajj. So we learned a lot to put all trust on Allah.
A committee member overseeing food and accommodation services, Mrs. Blikisu Ahmed, attributed the success to better coordination and dedication among staff. We were asked to be of proactive in every activities or in any position we're assigned to. As the pilgrims come to from Nigeria. As the pilgrims head to Mecca, an Islamic cleric, Sheikh Bashir Ahirubauchi, urged them to apply the lessons learned during the sensitization exercises in Medina for a spiritual, fulfilling and successful Hajj. From Medina, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Hadiza Abdurrahman, Radio Nigeria.
Now, in the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has reignited trade tensions after threatening a 50% tariff on all goods sent to the United States from the European Union. He also warned a popular phone tech giant that he will impose a 25% import tax, at least, on their product not manufactured in America, later widening the threat to any smartphone. The warning against the EU came just hours before the two sides were set to have trade talks. Next is entertainment news.
On entertainment news today, Parallel Payments President Fruitful Mekunye reacts over the arrest of his officials, plus the 78th Annual Cannes Film Festival ends tonight with awards ceremony in France. Hello and welcome to another edition of Entertainment News, where we bring you the latest in the industry. My name is Akbar Ransom, and if you're ready, let's begin right now.
Help me spread this message like Globacom. Let nobody come here, they come the phone.
Our project, known as the Fascinating Benue Heritage, has been officially unveiled with a new logo for the state. The project, unveiled over the weekend, aims at engaging a series of programs to showcase the state's cultural heritage while creating wealth for the indigenous in what has been tagged Benue Fashion Hub. The convener of the private-public partnership venture and a Commonwealth Youth Ambassador, Romeo Yamatsa, told Entertainment News that he was working in collaboration with the state's Ministry of Information and a group of passionate indigenes to support government development goals.
From our heritage and our culture, a lot of jobs can be created. So we came up with this special purpose vehicle to be able to design and conceptualize and begin to identify aspects of our heritage and our culture that can gainfully employ this practitioner.
He said the new state logo has also been approved by the State Executive Council.
Of course, the adoption is the first phase of that logo. The next phase is for it to be gazetted and passed to law at the State House of Assembly.
The official unveiling of the Fascinating Benue project attracted prominent indigenes of the state, including Deputy Governor Samuel Ode, who is also the patron of the project, and the Ikruna Chubaba Itibia. A parallel president of Performing Musicians Employers Association of Nigeria, PMAN, Fruitful Moniya, has reacted to the arrest of some of his officials, describing it as a failed attempt by his restrained former leadership to destabilize them. In an address from the National Secretariat in Lagos yesterday, Moniya emphasized that they were back on track and determined to take the association to greater heights.
We have to work. PMAN is moving forward stronger and more united than ever. Let it be known. The court will witness something very funny, not for us, but for the one who sought to divide us.
All attempts by our crew to reach a factional leader of PMAN, Prito Kafo, proved abortive. Entertainment News gathered that all the members of PMAN reportedly arrested by the police from the Lagos State CID, including rugged man Zaki Azi, as well as the face me crooner Sonny Neji, has since been released. The chief executive of Nigeria Film Corporation, Ali Nuhu, says the country will use its attendance to the Cannes Film Festival in France to attract support for the film industry. A statement from the corporation indicates that an MOU was signed by a company, Transparent of France, to build the capacity of 7 Nigerian sound engineers in October this year. According to the statement, another MOU was signed by the Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy for film expansion and distribution with the Africa International Film Festival, AFRIF. Gains of the festival include premiering of My Father's Shadow, the country's first official selection in the competitive category, and the screening of the movie 77, Festa Conspiracy, and The Call Lamb's Hero, a short film supported by the Nigerian Film Corporation. Meanwhile, the 78th Annual Cannes Film Festival ends tonight with an award-giving ceremony in France. After the 12 days of festival, the jury, presided over by Juliette Binoche, will present its award this evening at the closing ceremony. The film winner of the Palme d'Or, the most prestigious award given to the director of the best festival film in the official competitive category, will be screened, bringing the annual event to an end. That's it for today. Entertainment News returns same time next week. From the words of Ralph Emerson, life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. Adora Ransom is my name. Keep on keeping on. Bye-bye.
Now on the side of sports, Napoli clinched their second Serie A title in 3 seasons after edging Inter Milan thanks to a 2-0 home victory over Cagliari in a dramatic finale to the season yesterday. It's still the 4th Italian championship for Napoli and a record for coach Antonio Conte, who is the first coach to win Serie A with 3 clubs after earning titles with Inter Milan and Juventus. Napoli led defending champions Inter by 1 point entering the final round and sealed it grand style. For more on sports, let's join Jonathan Ame.
National Sports Commission's Director General, Honorable Bukola Olopade, is pleased with the performance of the invited junior athletes IJA at the 22nd National Sports Festival in Ogun State so far. A visibly excited Honorable Olopade spoke after the medal presentation to IJA swimmer Aidan Dumuje Abili at the venue of the swimming event. Abili said he is thankful to the NSC for the opportunity afforded the junior athletes to feature at the National Sports Festival, also promising to take advantage of the Gateway Games to put Nigeria on the podium in future global events. The NSCDG told newsmen that he is happy with the immediate impact of this IJA project initiated at the Sports Commission. He added that he is excited about the future, also commending them for showing zero fear at the Gateway Games. Meanwhile, different teams are beginning to rake in medals for their states in different events. 13-year-old Oluwatofumi Michelle Ibidakbo won another silver medal in the women's 1,500 freestyle for Team Oyo. This is in addition to yesterday's silver in the 200-meter butterfly for women. Team Delta State swimmer Clinton Opute also shattered a 16-year-old record in the 200-meter butterfly for men with a time of 2.10 seconds and couldn't hide his excitement when speaking with newsmen at the MKO Abiola Swimming Arena.
Immediately I knew that I broke a national record. I feel like, wow, it feels really good to be a national swimmer, not just a good medalist, like national record. So I feel really blessed.
Clinton Opute added that poor investment investment culture is one of the reasons Nigeria is yet to win a medal in swimming on the global stage, also appreciating the Delta State government for her deliberate efforts.
The reason why we didn't have any medal in Olympic is because they are not really investing. You have to invest your money in anything before you can have a medal. Like we have passion in swimming when it comes to Delta State. Our sports commissioner has been investing on it also. Whenever we ask for anything, they listen to us and they will give us what we ask for.
As at the time of filing this report, Team Delta had leapfrogged Team Bayelsa on the medals table at the ongoing National Sports Festival. Team Delta amassed 35 gold, 12 silver and 29 bronze, bringing the state's total to 76. Bayelsa is now second with 33 gold, 16 silver and 17 bronze medals after 5 days on the top of the table. Meanwhile, Rivers has maintained its third position with 17 gold, 13 silver and 13 bronze. The hosts, Team Ogun, have so far garnered 12 gold, 14 silver and 18 bronze, while Oyo dropped to 5th with 12 gold, 12 silver and 18 bronze medals. Borno and Kebbi have made it to the medals table with 1 bronze medal each. 516 medals have so far been won by states participating at the festival. And to align Nigeria with global standards in sports management and athlete performance analytics, stakeholders at the 2-day scientific congress held during the Gateway Games have emphasized the need for the deployment of innovative technology. The scientific congress themed strategies for the development of a viable sports economy in Nigeria, merging market dynamics with sports medicine excellence, was successfully convened by the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies. It brought together key stakeholders including sports practitioners, policymakers, medical professionals, scholars and athletes to strategically integrate sports management and medical innovations to advance the Nigerian sports sector. In the communique issued and signed by the President of the Nigeria Association of Sports Medicine, Dr. Olajide Joseph Adebola, several key recommendations were outlined. These include the strengthening of public-private partnerships, incentivizing corporate involvement in sports development, and the adoption of innovative technology for sports event management and athletes' performance analytics. To combat doping, stakeholders recommended the immediate implementation of comprehensive safeguarding and anti-doping policies aligned with international standards. Recommendations also include leveraging technology-driven solutions for logistics and event management to elevate the quality and global competitiveness of Nigeria's national sports events. In other sports, Aruna Quadri may have concluded his campaign at the 2025 ITTF World Championships in Doha, Qatar after a tough fourth-round defeat. The proud Nigerian succumbed to Brazil's Hugo Calderano in a one-sided men's singles clash at the Lusail Arena. Billed as one of the tournament's toughest matchups, the contest fell short of expectations, with Calderano displaying outright dominance from start to finish. The South American star cruised to a commanding 4 straight sets victory to book his place in the quarterfinals. 36-year-old Aruna Quadri continues to make history as he remains a trailblazer for African table tennis. He became the first African to reach the round of 16 at the ITTF World Championships twice, following his quarterfinal appearance at the 2021 edition in Houston, USA. In Doha, he was the only African to finish in the top 16, further cementing his legacy. His performance remains a source of pride for Nigeria and the African continent. And that's all from the sports desk. I am Jonathan Ame.
We now bring you the commentary, which is on the growing disconnect in Nigeria's educational system and the modern job market. It is written by Rashida Usman.
Nigeria, with its youthful and dynamic population, stands on the threshold of immense potential. Yet, one of the greatest paradoxes that the nation faces is the glaring mismatch between its educational system and the demands of the modern job market. This disconnect, which has been widening for years, not only threatens the future of millions of graduates, but also undermines the country's socio-economic development. At the heart of Nigeria's educational challenges lies a curriculum that has remained largely stagnant despite rapid global changes. Many institutions continue to emphasize repetitive learning and theoretical knowledge over practical skills and critical thinking. While students graduate with certificates, they often lack the competences required by employers in today's technology-driven and innovation-centered economy. The outdated curricula do not align with the needs of industries such as ICT, renewable energy, robotics, data science, and digital marketing, all of which are rapidly becoming central to the global job market. Furthermore, infrastructure deficits, overcrowded classrooms, poorly equipped laboratories, and lack of access to modern technology still exist in the nation's institutions. Many students go through their entire academic journey without handling modern tools or software relevant to their fields in a world increasingly shaped by digital transformation. Employability is another pressing concern. Employers frequently lament that graduates lack skills such as communication, teamwork, problem solving, and adaptability. These are traits that are seldom taught in traditional academic settings, yet they're essential in a professional environment. Many graduates struggle to transition from academia to industry because they have not been trained to apply their knowledge in real-world contexts. Moreover, there is a cultural emphasis in Nigeria on acquiring university degrees as a primary path to success, often at the expense of technical and vocational education. The result is an oversaturation of graduates in fields like business administration, political science, and public administration, and many others. Meanwhile, the demand for skilled tradespeople and technicians remains unmet. Countries that have balanced academic and vocational training, like Germany and South Korea, serve as models that Nigeria could learn from. Another factor contributing to the disconnect is a lack of collaboration between educational institutions and the private sector. In more progressive systems, universities partner with industries to ensure that their programs reflect market needs. Internship programs, industrial training, and mentorship initiatives are critical in preparing students for the job market. In Nigeria, such partnerships are rare or poorly structured. As a result, students graduate with little or no industry experience, making them less attractive to employers. To bridge this growing gap, systemic reform is essential. The Nigerian government, in collaboration with private sector stakeholders and international partners, must revamp the curriculum to reflect current and future labor market trends. This includes integrating digital literacy, entrepreneurship, and vocational skills into the core of educational programs. Teachers and lecturers also need retraining to effectively deliver these updated curricula. Equally important is investment in infrastructure. Schools and universities must be equipped with modern facilities that support practical learning. Moreover, the promotion of vocational education must be intensified through incentives and awareness campaigns that shift public perception and validate alternative career paths. Finally, a data-driven approach should be employed. Labor market information systems that track job trends and skills gaps can help educators tailor their programs. By aligning education with economic needs, Nigeria can empower its youth, reduce unemployment, and drive innovation.
That commentary on the growing disconnect in Nigeria's educational system and the modern job market was written by Rashida Usman and read by Mariam Okesanjo. We now take a look at our cyberscope, bringing you the top trends shaping conversation across Nigeria's social media space. And we begin with Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. He is at the center of the digital firestorm after the federal government filed a criminal charge against her under Section 391 of the Penal Code, accusing her of making statements that could harm someone's reputation. But many Nigerians are calling foul, suggesting political motivation may be part of, may be at play. While while legal analysts and everyday users alike are weighing in across platforms with the hashtag Justice for Natasha and #Penal Code 391 are trending, revealing a nation divided over a line between free speech and defamation. In a move that's drawing wide applause, Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has stepped in to resolve a long-standing issue affecting 84 Kano-sponsored students stranded in northern Cyprus. These students were stuck without tuition or access to their certificates after their previous administration halted funding. The current government has now paid 2.24 billion naira to Near East University to clear all outstanding fees. Social media users have flooded timelines with praise, using hashtags like #Kano Students Rescued and #Abba Yusuf to celebrate the intervention. Kudos to these students and the Kano State. The federal government's Conditional Cash Transfer (CCT) program is once again under scrutiny. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs Professor Nentawe Ilwada announced that over 6 million Nigerians have benefited in just 6 months, a massive leap from the 2 million reached over the previous 9 years. But Nigerians are not buying in without evidence. Many are demanding transparency, asking for detailed data on who exactly received what. And that's Cyberscope for today. You can keep the conversation going. Connect with us at Radio Nigeria using the hashtag #Cyberscope. And it is compiled today by Daniel Adejo. And let's quickly look at what the newspapers are saying this morning on the front pages. We begin with the Punch. Federal government summons Natasha's lawyers, promise defense with factual evidence. Emefiele's 753 duplexes. Federal government to sell houses to low, middle-income Nigerians. Driving against traffic not enough for police to kill my 13-year-old son. This is according to the grieving father. Very sympathetic one there. And then we move to leadership newspaper. Tinubu's orders are clear. End insecurity by 2025. This is according to Badaro. Upscaling of skills for all Nigerians begins soon, according to presidency. PDP crisis. Saraki Dixon Dankwambo on peace mission to Enugu. And that's newspapers headlines for today, as compiled by Samuel Adeinka. For weather report in the northern regions, sunny skies with patches of clouds are expected, with chances of morning thunderstorms parts of Taraba, and later in the afternoon and evening hours, isolated thunderstorms are expected over parts of Taraba, Kano, Borno, Yobe, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Adamawa states. Now, to end the news, here is a recap of the major stories. The Plateau State government has declared 159 companies to resume mining operations in the state. Our correspondent highlighted security achievements of President Bola Tinubu as he marks 2 years in office next Thursday. Electricity consumers in Benue State have decried outrageous estimated billing 13 years after privatization of the power sector. We also reported that U.S. President Donald Trump has reignited trade tensions after threatening a 50% tariff on all goods sent to the United States from the European Union. And that's the news, edited by Emmanuel Kotara and the production team. I am Ovie Kuje. Thank you so much for listening, and coming up next is Radio Link.
In a world of diverse cultures, religion, and belief,
Advanced democracies had their teething problems. In fact, they are standing tall and strong today, having passed through political crucibles at different periods.
Nigeria is not different. She has her journey to make. Experiences have shown that no nation abandons her journey, no matter how thorny.
24 years of uninterrupted democracy is good and steady enough. Let's all join hands to consolidate our democracy.